Coming up on this episode of We're No Damn Experts, we're talking F words, family, friends, food, and fun. It's fair time. Self-proclaimed chaos coordinator Susan Shannon joins us with all the details about the 91st Montana State Fair.
Best damn podcast, the best damn town. You want to get up, get ready to get down. With its big wide sky and the wild river Thames, if you want to go, we can take you there to Great Falls, Montana.
Welcome to the greatest damn town in Montana, Great Falls. I'm Rebecca Ingham.
And I'm Shannon Newth.
And we're no damn experts. See,
We did it again.
We are better than most people. And just an FYI, if you're listening before we get going, I read this morning, Glacier National Park is not expected to get the full Going to the Sun Highway open until July 13th.
It's later this year.
The latest, and hopefully there won't be more snow that comes in.
Right. It's a mix, right? Because we need the moisture, we need the snow,
Yeah.
but then it makes a very short window of opportunity to get on Going to the Sun.
And then more flooding. So we don't want that in the western part. Anyway.
Thread the needle.
So there you go. That's your update before we kick it off with,
Yes.
I'm going to call our guest the maestro
Ooh.
of event coordination.
Yeah.
I went out to Montana Expo Park during the beginning of fair coordination. And I tell you, Shannon, I was like, this is insane.
Yeah.
I don't know how and our guest is cool, calm, go do this, go do that. Like it's a normal thing. And it was a circus, an absolute circus.
A circus conductor, circus ringleader. There we go.
In addition to being a maestro of coordination, she's extremely knowledgeable when it comes to entertainment and managing multiple projects. And I am happy to say she sits on our board of directors and provides us insight. And over the years of working with her, I would even call her a friend.
Aww.
My friend, Susan Shannon, the coordinator extraordinaire, the director of Montana Expo Park, and here to talk to us about Montana State Fair.
I wish we had an applause sound effect.
Right,
here.
you need
There
one.
you go.
Yeah, there's the applause.
We'll do it ourselves.
Thank you very much. And maybe a better title would be Chaos Coordinator.
Oh, I didn't
like
want to
that.
go that far because it looked like that to me, but the way everything works out, it can't be chaos.
You made it not look like chaos.
It's not. And, Planning's the number one thing you can do for any event. Montana State Fair is the largest event held in north central Montana. It takes time, effort. It's fantastic. It draws over 80,000 people that pay.
I didn't
that
realize
pay.
it was that many.
Those are just the
There's
people that
paying.
pay.
Okay.
A lot of times people will say, oh, we have, X number of people. We count people who pay.
That makes
because
sense.
a lot of people come because they have to be there.
Sure.
A lot of people, they're part of the production. They're part of the
So that's not vendors, things like that. It's
That's
people
not
who
vendors.
are paying to come in.
That's
Wow.
not workers. That's not
Rabbit
exhibitors.
exhibitors.
No, it's actually the people that pay to come through the gate to enjoy 44 different food vendors, multiple rides. We're really unique in that we have actually 2 carnival locations, really.
Okay.
We have the portion that is geared much more toward the older rider, and we have a beautiful section of Montana Expo Park that's shaded by trees, and that really caters to the younger rider and the younger rides. And so families can go out with littles and actually enjoy it. It's not as crazy. And then the olders can go down and get crazy and be there.
And I think with that separation, having taken little people there and been an older person too at the fair, it doesn't get congested. You don't have just globs of people everywhere. You can move about the grounds a little bit easier, and you're not just shoulder to shoulder with people all the time.
And with those little people, they can be introduced to it, and it doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to. I mean, it's fun. It's fun. They can be introduced to it. There's shade. There's something to drink. And then that is surrounded by other exhibits right on that area. They can walk through and look at all the wonderful cars that all the people bring, and that's put on by Altered Classic Car or for Skunk Wagon. And then we have the tractors that are down there. Nature's Den is right there with Fish, Wildlife, and Parks that does an incredible exhibit.
That's a fun exhibit. That's a really neat exhibit. I've been through that one before.
It's actually my favorite building on the grounds.
Is it? Yeah.
I don't have a favorite. I think they're all my favorite.
I think she has to say that.
The chaos coordinator's official
That's
answer.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. And then the park is surrounded then by the outdoor vendors, which is good for mom and dads because it shows, kids, there's always something they want. There's a little whirly bird or a twirly thing or something that sparkles or lights up at night or a shirt or whatever that captures their entertainment.
Yeah.
But they also walk by Central Park Stage. And Central Park Stage, Three Rivers Stage, it's Three Rivers Stage.
That's the sponsor.
That is the sponsor.
That's how you get to name things.
That's right. Yeah. It features all the grounds entertainment and local entertainment. And then there's, of course, paid entertainment there. And that entertainment starts, fair opens at noon every day. Noon every day. Come to the fair.
What time was that again?
Noon.
Okay, got it.
And FYI, if you come in our public parking lot, that is free. That has been free for years. You do not pay to come to Montana
I feel like there's
State
sometimes
Fair.
confusion about that. Maybe
There is.
People
Did
think
there used to be a time when you had to pay?
That would have been years ago.
You're going to make me feel old?
You're going to feel old. I feel old. Years ago. Now, there are places that do charge parking, but those are not affiliated with Montana State Fair.
Okay.
And then,
like at the First Interstate Bank
Right.
parking area or Eklund.
Yeah.
And you know what?
There's service clubs that do that.
Those are low-cost service clubs that
Yeah.
actually, if you think about it, they're providing a little bit of security for your vehicle.
sure.
So not just anybody gets to park there. They make some money. It's a great way to introduce kids into the workforce. So it's a supplementary, wonderful opportunity for those clubs.
So you can park there or you can park in the fairgrounds area,
For
public
free.
area for no cost.
For free, if
Okay.
it's available, because it
Sure.
does fill. Now,
that's the part that's tricky sometimes.
it is. And the other part is there is lots of handicap parking for our disabled friends and people who have placards. And then we actually added a bunch of spots on Northwest 3rd Street. So when you enter on 3rd Street, there used to be a strip of parking there, but all of that, with the exception of 2 spots, are now for disabled placards.
Nice.
So
Now,
it's
for people like me who are not good with streets, that's the one that rides
across from Cowboys.
and Empty Pints and Stay
Yep.
Bridge
I
and
thought you
Spring
meant
Hill.
good with streets, like not like crossing. You
Oh.
weren't good at crossing streets.
No, just
You
names of
use
streets.
locations. Okay.
Yes, it's
Gotcha.
across from Cowboys, and that entrance is a walk-through entrance. But if anybody needs a place to park because they have some mobility challenges, that is a great place to park, and there's a walk-in gate right there. We actually have walk-in gates all over.
Good.
I mean, there's a walk-in gate right behind First Interstate. We would call it the yellow gate because if you'd look
They're
at
all
the poles, they're
color-coded?
yellow.
Ah,
And if you come in on 3rd Street across from Cowboys, it is purple.
okay.
If you come in
I need to pay more attention to these colors. That's
look at the
helpful.
poles.
Yeah.
Look at the poles.
Okay.
And if you come in from Sam's Club, that's the drive-through entrance for the limited free public parking, but there's also handicap parking in that lot as well. That is red. And if you come in on 6th Street, which borders the residential area, it is a orange.
Okay.
So
orange.
close.
So
Yellow, we
spectrum.
already
Yellow, purple, red, orange.
Right.
Okay.
And orange is a limited access. That's the access for vendors, livestock, trailers. It, however, is a huge walk-through gate as well. So noon is when fair opens, and we do that because obviously people have to have lunch, and we have the best food vendors out there.
Yeah.
Who
we'll
doesn't
get to the
just
food
love
here.
going to lunch at the fair?
Yeah.
How long has Montana State Fair been happening?
A long time.
Since the beginning. What? It was it the 80th anniversary?
I want to say it was, I remember
I think it was 80th anniversary.
70th something recently. So that makes
yeah,
sense. Yeah.
I think we're on the 80th, and I don't know if when the pandemic happened, if that would have been the 80th.
That gets a little tricky then with counting.
It does. Well, I would still
what to
count
qualify.
Yeah. We've been in existence, and actually, originally the state fair was in Helena, and then it moved to Great Falls.
Okay.
We are Montana Expo Park, home of the Montana State Fair. We are very happy and proud to carry that name. So we managed to get through some commercial exhibitors. We managed to get through food vendors. We didn't really talk a whole lot about them. There's everything. Now, I want people to understand at Montana State Fair with food vendors, we work diligently to not duplicate product.
Okay.
If we did not work diligently to do that, you could potentially
Like the
have
whole entire fairgrounds would be just food vendors.
Well, no, you would have all just
corn dogs.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
You
Okay.
could have all corn dogs or all, hamburgers or whatever.
Well, we love corn dogs.
We do
Some
love corn dogs.
options are nice. Yes.
So our corn dog guys are the best. Actually, everybody in their element, they all, in my opinion, have a signature item. And when you can support that vendor with that signature item, it's great. So those food vendors come, they set up early on, they're there late, they work very hard. It's one of the best parts of the fair. Actually, the whole fair is the best part of fair.
It's
true. It all has
not
its
a bad
own charm.
deal.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, if you go to fair and you are any type of person watcher,
Oh my
You
God.
I was
will
going to
have
ask about that
my
part.
one of my
Yes.
favorite experiences. You know, my favorite way to experience the fair, I don't do the rides because it's not my thing.
Mine neither. Yes.
Although when I bring
shame. Shame.
I took my nieces one time and ended up on one of the rides because they wanted to go, and Uncle Robert was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing it. They're your nieces." So,
real quick, which ride? Do you remember?
it
Was it like the slingshot or the zipper? One of the
No,
intense
they were
ones?
still pretty young.
Okay.
It was the barn, like the tornado barn.
Oh, okay.
So it was still for the young ones, but it was in the older section. They're
Yeah.
like, "We're gonna do this." I'm like, "Oh my goodness, this is gonna be bad." So it was bad. But then grab a cow pie and I sit down, eat the cow, let it cool because you have to let it cool.
Oh, yes, that's key. You got to let it cool first.
And then as I'm cooling, just watch everybody walk around because there are people there that I have never seen in Great Falls before in my life. So I assume they're from out of town.
It's one of the best people watch it. If you go and do nothing else, grab yourself some food, sit, and you can people watch.
Oh, you can people watch all day long. Well, thinking about that, though, so you did the rides and the food a little bit. Just food is just, and I'm not going to, we could talk about food. I mean, we have everything from.
Do you have a favorite food? I know you're not supposed to have
objectively favorite food.
I do.
Ooh, what is it?
Well, I can't tell you.
They're
all my favorite.
Is it of the fried variety?
No.
Salad.
Oh, I was
No.
going to say, I was like,
No.
everything's fried there,
No.
so it would be.
Yes, I love fried food. Yes, I eat fried food. Yes, I'll eat fried food. But when you're there for 15 hours a day, you kind of pace yourself
This
and
is
make
true.
sure that you eat right because
You don't want all 3 meals a day being
the
fried food.
I can't do a sugar high and a sugar crash, and I can't do too much of the fried because then you start, in the morning.
You have to breathe still for the rest of the day.
In the morning, you start in one pair of pants, and at night you have to have a different pair of pants.
Get some real
Yeah, that doesn't
stretchy
work so
material.
well.
Yeah, that's a
no.
very good point. By the end of the week, you're just in a whole nother size. Yeah.
But if you can grab some food, and we have lots of seating, and that's something that we've added on the Midway. Historically, or way back when, they used to just have these like park benches. I'm like, how do you hold your plate, hold your drink, hold your kid, and eat? You can't.
Been there just
So-
without the kid, but it's enough for
Right.
me to try to manage the
Yep.
what is
Right.
it, the funnel cakes or that have
Oh,
the
yeah.
fry bread with the like powdered
The
sugar.
sugar.
Elephant ears, is that what that is?
Elephant ears, mini
Oh,
donuts,
That's delicious, but
Well,
hard to
you're
eat
just-
sitting on a bench.
French
then-
fries,
And then
onion
if it's got
rings.
the powdered sugar on it, you're trying to not breathe out while you take a bite because then it sprays all over you. Or
Yep, that's
you
happened to me
just-
too.
You just own
Or
the
you just
fact.
embrace the whole situation,
I'm
lean
gonna be
into it.
covered in sugary mess.
Well, and usually it's
Ketchup.
very, very warm, right? Which is great. So you're sweating. This powdered sugar
Yep,
sticks to
sticks.
that too.
Well, you're an impromptu fair act.
There you go.
There you
I like
go.
that.
Hey, You can watch us at the fair. That is the people
That's
you
the
want to be
people.
watching.
Just come watch us sit there try to eat something.
We'll have mimes that talk, though.
Yeah.
So there's lots of shaded places created to eat because I don't know if anybody knows, but I'm pretty fair-skinned. And when I go out, I immediately turn into a tomato. And so in order to avoid that, shade is my friend. Long sleeves are my friend. Long pants are my friend.
Yeah.
So all those things play. We also have a misting tent that is
Ooh.
on the midway, so you can get yourself
I bet
misted
that's
a little bit.
crowded tent.
I think people very much enjoy it. We used to
I'm going
have.
to sell tickets to it.
You could and get your powdered
Just need
sugar on in
a
there.
$1.
Yeah.
Get your
Yeah, that's how you go in there after the powdered sugar.
Right, and then you can.
It's a bath
off.
/ cooling.
There you go. And then once you're done with that, there's buildings with commercial vendors. But one of the things I want to touch on, because I keep thinking about a tour. How would I tour the exhibits? Because
Ooh, okay, I like this. An insider's look at how
Yeah.
you make it through the exhibits. Okay.
So I would probably start in fine arts, and fine arts is where we feature all our artists.
is that also because you're starting there ideally before you're eating food, so you won't have grease on you
Well, you
for the
don't
artwork?
you don't get to touch anything
Right.
because we have the most.
But just in case.
That's true, but we have incredible superintendents who have a passion for the area that they represent. And fine arts, there is incredibly beautiful work. And this year, something new. Guess
Ooh,
what?
da, da, da.
There will be some fine artwork, 3 pieces that will be selected. And guess what? You, as the fairgoer, will vote
Oh,
on
fun.
the Montana State Fair Piece of the Year.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
So that's going
so
to
bring
happen.
your artistic eye,
Mhm.
your judgmental eye.
Historically, that was chosen by just a small group, and I very frankly want the entire fair-going population to select that
People's
piece.
choice.
Well, and I think a lot of art is different by who's viewing it, and what a novice person who's looking at art might see is completely different than someone who's very skilled in
this is true.
in the art. They're gonna say, "Oh, the strokes weren't good," or "the lighting wasn't right," and to us, it's just pretty.
You just enjoy the end result.
Okay, I agree 100%. So my mom's an artist,
Hmm.
and my mom's never going to tell you she's an artist. And she painted this beautiful picture. I said, "Mom, I'm going to put that in the fair," and
She
I got the
says,
look.
No, you're not. Yeah.
I got the look. And no, it's not going in the fair, but it's this great picture. And then she started telling me everything that was wrong with it. And I said, okay, stop.
Yeah.
Because
No
now,
one can see it.
You're your own worst critic.
right.
Yeah.
And now when I look at it, I see it differently because I see it through her lens.
Because she's pointed out all the things
and
she
she's
doesn't
told
like.
me.
Yeah.
And so I think I want the fairgoers to have this experience because they're there. Their vote counts. It matters. We want their opinions. We want to know how they feel. So I would walk from there and then I would transition into the photography area. Now, photography over the years has changed drastically.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you used to have all the pictures that they hung up, and now a lot more of that has gone to digital.
Oh,
And-
even in their displays?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, even in their displays. So that's kind of interesting. We have incredibly talented people. And when you walk through there, there's things that capture your eye. And then I think the biggest one for me is the difference between a color and a black and white.
Sure.
Because there are times when black and white is so much more moving than a color, and vice versa. But it's always interesting to look at those contrasts.
And I also like when they put the same image up side by side, one in color, one in black and white.
Oh, yeah.
And when you can see the difference between the two and almost vote which one's better. I've
Yeah.
had some photographer friends that do that, and it's just black and white or even the sepia tone lend a different feel to the image.
It
almost,
it
so.
makes you feel things more so.
Different.
Right.
Yeah.
And how that differentiates is kind of unique. But then I would follow my nose and I would go directly into floriculture. And that's where
Oh.
all the flowers are.
And I'd hang out there for a good hour,
Yeah?
hour and a half. It's so nice and cold in there.
It is.
She just likes the temperature zones here. Yeah.
One building with air conditioning. And I can't speak enough about the superintendents because they're the folks that operate those departments. Those folks, their passion behind that makes the fair. So kind of what's unique about Montana State Fair too, a lot of fairs have a lot of exhibits and a lot of them are done by 4-H and FFA. Our exhibits are done by adults. They're open to 4-H, of course, if they chose to, but
Yeah.
4-H does something different at a different time. And I think people don't realize these are all open competitors. And so these are people like you and me. We could grow flowers.
Sure.
Maybe.
Well,
Walmart
I can't.
mine
flowers.
did
Here we
not
go.
last very long. I'll tell you that.
I know it. So then I would mosey out of there and go back onto the sidewalk.
Have your superintendents been there for a long time? Like, or do you get new ones every year?
Superintendents have a longevity factor that is incredible. We probably have superintendents who have been there 30 years.
Oh my
Wow,
gosh.
that's incredible.
So here's the deal, though. If you're going to retire, you need to find your replacement.
So that's part of why they've been there so long. No,
I
but they
think
have so much knowledge, though,
they
and they
have.
can help people have the best experience in there.
They have this knowledge. They have. I take it all back, folks. If you love something enough, no matter what you do, it'll be done well.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to put your name on something that doesn't represent you or your department in that capacity.
Yeah.
And I would tell you one of the number one things everybody could do. We live in an area of 60,000 people. If you take our surrounding areas, we're 150,000 people.
Yeah.
If everybody entered one thing,
Wow.
one thing, we'd have 150,000 exhibits at the fair. It takes getting involved. Over the years, with dual incomes being required to get by or survive or to do anything, you see all those hobbies changing.
Yeah.
So one of our futuristic projects is how do we change our exhibit ability to encompass that working individual?
And the
Because-
diversity in hobbies
Right.
now, too.
Right, because let's talk about culinary. There are not many scratch cookers anymore. But how do we take and say, okay, you're going to take these 4 box ingredients and you're going to put it together and then we're going to
Like
judge
a
it.
state fair cooking show of
Right,
sorts. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But I think that's one of the areas, and my memory's not as strong, but they have demonstrations, they have contests in the family living area. Do they do that in other?
Oh, yeah. So there's in all of the buildings, there's demonstrations, there's key times. We put out a great little guide. It's a fair guide, and it will identify when those things are. That's available on our website. It's available when you go through the gate. It's available at the information booth. It's available at our office. It's available almost anywhere. And then you can peruse through, and those times are listed. So culinary does different competitions. And then in the culinary building with them is Garden and Farms. And Garden and Farms, they have different things throughout the week because they do this judging on this day and this judging on this day, and different people bring in those items.
One of the neatest experiences I've had at the fair is they had in the culinary area a spam competition.
Oh, I do remember the spam competitions. Yes.
And then the judges sampled, but then you got the recipes. Like they had all of the recipes available for the spam competition and then like the beef cook-off competition. So you got all these recipes to go home with. And I'm like, well, this
That's
is
a
awesome. And you
great
got
part
to
of the
watch
fair,
people
yeah.
make things out of spam. And you're like, this isn't going to be good, but it was all impressive.
And spam's gone away for a few years because the spam is not sponsoring that same competition. So then you kind of see some of that change too over time. It's just different how that evolves or is continuing to evolve. And it will be interesting to see how we can incorporate how we live today in those areas to see if you can engage people. So if you're listening and if you want, I would highly recommend you go to www.goexpopark.com, go to State Fair, go to exhibitor section, find something, enter a snickerdoodle, enter a chocolate chip cookie, enter a pickle, enter a whatever.
Anybody
And be
can
part.
enter. Yeah.
Yeah, be part of the experience.
Do you have to be a Montana resident to enter stuff?
I'd have to refer to the general information page. And believe it or not, I don't have them all memorized. So
What?
I'm not, I know.
What have you been doing here then?
I know it. So, in all those 40 different million programs,
Yeah.
I would refer to that and look. I think that the more the merrier is what I can say. So we haven't quite gotten through because then we go down to fine arts.
Oh, right.
Creative
We're
arts.
following
Well,
our eyes
Walmarts.
and nose.
I did also disrupt you because you were in floriculture. Do you leave there and then head over?
You do leave there, and as you're leaving, you'll walk by a few food vendors. You
Okay.
can get a little something. You can stop in Central Park and have a little entertainment. And in the afternoons, we really try to focus on getting our local talent within our community. That's through all the cheer groups, dance studios, anybody who is interested, bands. We, of course, we have to review content. We have to make sure content's appropriate. But your first experience on the stage, there is nothing better than watching your child perform or watching your neighbor's child perform and seeing the smiles and enjoying that.
And that's a big platform, really, especially when you're little.
That's a
You're
big
gonna
time.
go. You're
It is.
performing at the state
Yeah.
fair.
You are performing at the state fair and you got a ticket to get in. So then and then you can go explore all around you as well. If you are an adult and you're over 21, while you're watching them, you could have perhaps an adult beverage to cleanse your palate of the powdered sugar that you have absorbed into your skin.
Wait.
You had her at adult beverage.
Yeah, I know.
Of course, we're coming back to
Yes.
that. Everyone knows. Who's listened to this podcast for 10 minutes knows. I thought adult beverages were only served in the beer garden area.
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, this is a whole
So-
new experience for Rebecca now.
Yeah, and it's interesting to me how, so like the parking, that's kind of a joke for us because we keep hearing you charge for parking. I mean, people will say, you charge too much for parking.
Oh,
Well,
we-
free.
Is free too much for
Free.
you? Yeah.
We haven't charged for a long time. At any rate, yes, adult beverages are available in Central Park.
Huh.
So actually, you could go over on your way and stop in the Mercantile and get a Dippin' Dots' ice cream.
Ooh, nice
And then
little
you
cool
could go
off.
over and get some sort of little spritzer or whatever, and you could probably make some sort of sundae or something. I don't know if that sounds
Oh.
good or not.
You
I
can do
can't
that,
decide.
or
To
you
each
could make
their
that
own.
ahead of time and enter that into one of the
Culinary
culinary
competition.
things.
Right? We're gonna.
Day of
Hey,
entry.
there's an idea.
Yeah.
How do
Can you enter
take?
day of?
No, how do you take what you purchase at fair,
At
put
the
it together
fair?
in some sort of
Ooh,
whatever? And
I think we have a new competition.
Ooh.
I'll be a judge. I volunteer.
Okay. Oh boy.
The
Rebecca's
things you
like,
might.
"No."
That's fine. You can be a judge. I think that's a great idea. I'm not going in that area.
That would be some crazy concoctions. I could
It would
imagine.
be.
Yeah.
Because what do you do with the classic delicious lemonade? Can you mix that somehow with the cow pie, some powdered sugar in there,
And a blender.
and you deep fry it
Yeah.
again with a deep fried butter or whatever?
Okay,
it
I
is.
know,
think we're gonna have to work on
Yeah.
this. This
I'm going to
is
give Shannon enough time. She'll come up with something by next year's fair.
okay. That'll be
and
good.
enter it. We'll do a whole big spiel about it. Yeah. Okay, that's my plan. Real quick, I want to ask Rebecca: is there still time for people to enter?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
Rebecca,
Absolutely.
what are you going to make or grow in time for the fair? I think you need to enter something here.
Well, okay. This is going to be news to everyone.
Oh.
And since it's never been entered in a competition, I did it a while ago, so I think it'll
Ooh.
still count.
Okay.
Maybe there are rules that you can't enter things that you didn't create in the past year. But I've made 3 different quilts, actually 5
Really?
different quilts, and I would probably enter one of my quilts.
I had no idea you made quilts.
I know. I'm just an
Hidden
onion.
talent here.
That's right.
Pulling back the layers.
I drink a lot, and
She
I make
drinks while
quilts.
okay. Are you drinking while you're making the
No.
quilts? Okay.
No,
I
that
was
is
gonna say
not
I
gonna
want to
work
see
well.
I want to see the stitching on
Yeah,
these
uh-huh.
quilts after you've.
Been
You know,
drinking,
that's
yeah.
fantastic because that would be just wonderful. Quilting, the quilt department is in the exhibition hall along with fine arts, creative arts, and home arts. Okay, so quilting though is something that is actually coming back, and so I don't.
Is that kind of a post-pandemic? Did people pick that up more in the
That and
pandemic?
sourdough bread.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Yep.
Well, make some sourdough bread too.
There you go.
I don't know if it's a post-pandemic or if it's people have gotten past some of, everything's so technology driven.
Mm-hmm.
And I think so hobbies have died away and maybe people are tired of some of that instant technology all the time. And
Need a
in order
break
to
from the screens.
recharge
Yeah.
and refresh and regroup, they're trying to pick up things that maybe create time for them just to unwind, think a little bit, focus on something other than their screen because we do enough of that.
Yes.
Right.
So, yes, you'll have to I'll get you the information. It's going to be fabulous.
Well, the
Ooh.
thing that concerns me is the one I would enter I gave as a gift. I can get it back. But a couple weeks ago, we were looking at pictures.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I mean, you look back at pictures from 20 some years ago and people are like, what were you doing? I have no idea. I don't even remember being in this picture, but there's a picture of me and my mom holding this quilt, and my sister-in-law says, what is this quilt? And I said, I think that's the quilt I made for your daughter. And she's like,
Oh, yeah, of course.
like,
That's
does that
still
not
in our
even look
bedroom.
familiar?
Yeah.
So now I'm concerned that these things don't even
Just get
exist
lost.
anymore.
Yeah.
Like they gave them away or something. So I'll have to
Yep.
call. And if it does exist, I can get it back and then I can enter it. But it's very pretty. I embroidered their names on it.
Wow.
Well,
Oh, wow.
I didn't embroider it. I took
You
it
had
to
it
someone.
embroidered? Okay.
They embroidered it. I
Yeah.
paid them money to do that. But everything else was me.
Wow. This is a
Yeah.
hidden talent. You are just layers of.
I should bring them in because they are gorgeous.
You should, and there is a quilt guild in town, and you could also, they're part of an interim event that we have. And what I'd say is, and I really mean it, through people's work, especially quilts, that is a labor of love.
Mhm.
And those individuals who choose to use their talents that way, it is an investment in time,
Mhm.
energy. It is not inexpensive.
Nope.
But I know that when I receive a gift that's given with joy, gratitude, thankfulness, care, love, friendship, it really has a different feeling to it. So when you look at all of those things, when you look at fair folks, here's what I would tell you. I would tell everybody this. Every single area, people love what they are doing or they
Yep.
wouldn't be there doing it.
And I would say not just with quilts, but any gift. You go into the culinary exhibits, you see some of those cookies or muffins that are made. If somebody's going to take that time
Mhm.
and make those things and do it so that it's edible, that's the other big
Edible.
thing.
That's my big, yeah.
No, we don't have
Is this
edibles.
edible? Yeah.
We do not have edibles.
Good to clarify. Good clarification. Yep.
Yeah, the times are changing.
Yes,
but
this is true.
yeah.
They are changing. Well, I'll tell you about cookies. My daughter and I have a little system in place. She makes them, I bake them. And I will tell you, at Christmas, I don't know how many dozen we made. We probably made 70 dozen cookies.
Holy cow.
That's awesome.
And,
Do you do plates up and give them to friends and family?
They go to friends and family and colleagues and bosses and
Yeah.
friends and
Yeah.
That's such a nice gift.
It is.
it is. You
I
don't
always
have to
enjoy
store
it.
it. You don't have to keep
No,
it. You
you-
don't have to display it. You don't have to be afraid of what to do with it. And that's where that kind of came from. Because we have a bunch of nephews and she has a bunch of cousins and brother-in-laws. What do you give them for Christmas?
Right.
They don't need another shirt. They
Yeah.
got enough shirts. They can buy their own shirts.
And there comes a point when you just don't need any more stuff. And
Right.
we used to do that. My spouse and I would get together and we'd bake a set of things, cookies and treats for the holidays. And that's what we'd give to my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, aunts.
That's a fun thing to do with friends, too. You could do it with some adult beverages, too,
Ooh.
Yeah.
Rebecca.
So I will tell you one time we used to have this we still do cluster gift exchange. We call our friend group the cluster. And so part of what I give when I give a gift for the cluster gift exchange is I put in my homemade caramels. And every
Ooh.
year they make fun of me because they're like, there's no way you made these. I said, I made them. Like I bought the
Another hidden talent
cellophane
here.
wrapper off of Amazon. I wrap
Oh
them
my
up.
gosh.
So they look like they're from a
Store.
store. They're like, there's no way you made these. I'm like, why does everyone think all I do is sit around and drink? Maybe that's all I talk about. So now I'm using my platform, the podcast, to
To
expand.
share your other
like I have other
hobbies and
talents
talents.
besides drinking. Like I do.
Okay, so speaking of other talents, okay, we have, and then you guys, there's the livestock exhibits, and I wanna make sure I touch on all of them.
Let's spend
So-
some time here because our guests, a lot of times they're like, we've had guests who walk in this office. They're like, we want to see a horse and it's outside of State Fair. And I'm like, oh, come back and you'll be able to see a horse during State Fair.
Well, so
Cows,
at
pigs.
Fair, the exhibit area that is set aside in the livestock pavilion and the poultry barn and the rabbit barn are we have to rotate through our exhibits because there's not room to bring all the exhibits for all the shows all for the whole week. Now, people need to stop and think, well, how come they're not there the whole week? Well, you're asking somebody to leave their farm, leave their ranch, bring their animals for 9 days.
It's a long time.
That's a long time. It's a lot of work, a lot of expense.
And that's a lot of time for the animal.
Through the, it rotates through the week. We start off with one open species. That's the other thing. Our shows are open species. Yeah. Our shows are driven. Now kids enter them all the time. We have junior livestock show. Okay. That's all junior live. 4-H folks can enter. We have many 4-H kids that come, but Cascade County has a 4-H livestock show and sale 2 weeks before our fair.
Okay.
So that's the difference. And so you'll see animals and exhibits, but they rotate through.
Is it mostly showmanship then? There's
showmanship.
There's no event at the fair where you can bid on an animal and take it home and eat
there
it?
used to be. But the pandemic kind of put a kibosh on some of that. Actually, what we run into problems with getting USDA approved kill plants.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're going to have a sale, you're not sending it out to Rebecca with another talent to do the kill.
No.
And take care of it.
Somebody else has to pick those up and take it to their facility.
That's right. So we run into those issues. So we've started something a little bit different. And that is more of a jackpot. That's more of a best in show. Okay. That's more of a let's build this show this way. So those kids, because we were always a non-kill show anyway. So those kids then go to Billings so that animal can show in multiple shows.
Okay.
So we have, poultry, rabbits, pigs, sheep, goats, cattle. It's all there. It just depends on what day you're there. Mm-hmm. And more of that has to do with the rotation. And that's pretty common in longer version fairs. Billings does the same thing. They don't have cows there 9 days.
Well,
it rotates
and just think,
through.
If we were to put you, Shannon, in a corral for 9 days and let 80,000 people walk by you and pet you and prod you, there's just going to come a point when you're done being around people because you're a goat,
I wish you could just see my face because that's more the reaction than the words I can put to. Yeah, no, thanks.
So if you're a goat, I can see. Yeah, there comes a point when I'm done. Mm-hmm. I'm done being a part of the experience.
It is. Now we also do, and this has been difficult since the pandemic. We call them a barnyard gathering, and so we try to have animals that people willingly bring and will display and show for everybody to see.
So
now,
open species.
Well,
what do you get in
open
that?
is open just means it's not targeted to. It means adults can enter it.
Anybody.
So adults can enter it. The open. That's what that means.
Okay.
So
I thought we were talking about.
Yeah.
What are some of the more off the cuff or odder species of things that have been at the fair?
Ooh, good question.
There were tigers. There were tigers years ago. And then, there
llamas.
I don't remember llamas.
Camel.
I don't remember a camel. That kind of, it's been a while. Tigers was probably the most unique one we had the experience with.
I wasn't expecting tigers.
And some of that depends when and one of them, they really liked my coworker Kim, and they line up and they christen you. They bless you.
Oh, I see where you're going.
She got it twice.
Yeah.
I mean, she
twice.
got
Oh my gosh, didn't learn the first time, huh? Step back.
You would think.
And when they christen you, they really have range. I mean, she was head to toe. It was awful.
Head to toe in
it?
Yeah,
and we all just kind of took a step back.
Oh
it's
my gosh.
You probably should go home and take a shower and shake. Could
oh
you
my
imagine
gosh.
driving in your car?
No. That's quite
there
to be able to say that happened to you, though. I mean,
she was
you didn't just get to look at them.
Yeah.
No, I would probably bathe in the livestock pavilion with
just
my
hose
clothes
me
on,
off there.
then
for
just
starters.
stand and dry, and then drive home and take
and then,
another shower.
So it's not in your car. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Well, and so that ties though, Shannon, right to those are called kind of strolling acts or grounds entertainment.
Okay.
So we have some great grounds entertainment that will be joining us. We have what we call robocars, and robocars are kind of like a car that turns into a person that moves about.
Oh, I remember
And they're
seeing
like
those.
6'9", 8".
It's like a transformer.
You're right.
Yeah.
But they're robocars. We can't call them.
Yes, it's
Right.
the copyrighted
trademark,
terms,
yeah.
trademark
That's
terms. Yes.
right.
But it's that concept.
It's that
It
concept.
felt like a real life
And-
that
and-
was happening. Yes.
But here's what's important about it. It's interactive. It's an experience driven type of display that goes around. And then
Absolutely.
there's some new ones coming.
How on earth do you find the grounds acts? Like, is there a convention you go to or a book of,
Oh, there's
here's some weird things that we do that you can pay us for?
Oh, absolutely. So Rocky Mountain Association of Fairs is a fair association that we belong to, and there's an annual meeting. And, part of the annual meeting is the display of the talent.
that sounds like a fun
and
annual meeting.
It's
Yeah.
definitely
Sounds way better
and
than
the grounds entertainment is a big piece of that, and that's what it's called. And you have acts from stilts to robocars to anything you can imagine. And then you go and explore, and then you get with folks and you visit with them. The interesting thing is it's a business. It's a business just like anything else.
right.
All of those folks, their calendars get booked too. So then it becomes supply demand, and then it
Right.
becomes, where do you fit on a calendar? How
Right.
do you fit that into the
yeah.
calendar?
It's not just, I want the robocars.
Right. It's
Yeah.
what is their availability.
Mhm.
So you're not tracking for this year's fair or next year's fair. You're always looking down the road because you have to find out when people, are available.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's pretty normal for those to transition in and out of fairs. And so if there's something you really like, you can keep your eye on it, and you try all sorts of different things. I prefer what they call strolling acts. Strolling acts are interactive. Strolling
Mm-hmm.
acts, you can stop and watch. You don't have to go to them. They come to you.
Mm-hmm.
They create the experience wherever you are at.
So while you're sitting on a
Um,
bench covered in powdered
right,
sugar,
right.
they'll come right up to you.
Yeah, they can come up to you, and
I
they
like
they can entertain you while
Yeah.
you're sitting right there. And then we have a couple of things this year that hopefully they'll work out. We're working with some local high schools to do some energizing things during different times. So that'll be
Ooh.
fun.
So,
Intriguing.
a lot of coordination that starts, a month before the fair?
Yeah. Well, okay. So just like I said, we're planning fairs in the future right
Right.
now as we speak. So, we didn't even get to or talk about kind of the
big stuff.
the preface of fair
Yeah.
too, right? So prior to fair, we have horse racing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's put on by Great Falls Turf Club. And Great Falls Turf Club actually does 2 weekends this year ahead of fair, and then they open at fair time. That is a large scale production. Lots of people love to come and bet on the ponies. I've never bet on a horse. I have never one time.
Wow. So
Did you
I
say
can't gamble on the
not
job.
bet or Ben?
Bet.
Oh, I thought you
Ben?
said you've never been on a horse. And I was like,
Oh,
well, there you
no,
go. See, not
no.
everyone in Montana has been on a horse.
Oh yeah. No, I've been on a horse. I've been thrown off a horse.
But you've never bet on the ponies.
I have never bet.
I don't think I've ever bet on them either, actually.
I don't
Well-
think I can gamble while I'm working.
yeah.
I don't.
You make the
I'll have
rules,
to-
right? Just kidding.
No, I
Nobody
don't.
has to know.
Some rules.
Some of them,
Um,
yes.
But we have 7 days of horse racing this year. So July 16, 17, if you want to come down. July 23rd, 24th. Post times are at 1 o'clock. Gates will be at noon. And then Friday night, 5 o'clock at fair. July
So
29th.
Turf Club puts that on, so you don't have to worry about that as much.
Turf Club puts on the event of horse racing. Everything around the event of horse racing we take
Is
care
you.
of.
Okay.
Wow.
We do all the food and beverage. We do all of the security, all that kind of stuff.
So
yes.
who else do you partner with to put on production stuff that isn't necessarily under your direct? I have to
So-
find these things.
So the concerts,
Mm-hmm.
the concerts is one of the big stuff too. I partner with Romeo Entertainment Group. Romeo Entertainment Group is a talent agency that we partner with. They have connections, and they're not connections. They have relationships. They are a talent agency. They buy talent year round.
Okay.
And that's where we do have lists of people that we would love to see. And we continue to feed those lists, and then they look at availabilities and where they're traveling and how to get them to us, and
So a little
what's
bit more
affordable.
More of a
Right,
partnership of this is who's available, this is who you might want, but do you get the final say of who shows up for concerts?
The final say would sit with Cascade County, yes. So I say, Rebecca, I want the Shannon band.
Oh, it's a good
It
one.
could be us.
Yep, it could be the two of
It
us.
could be
Yes.
Shannon.
Yep.
See?
Oh, I like this.
It could be the Shannon band, and then you go out and you go and you look and see where they're touring, and then you come back and say, well, here's dates that may or may not be available, or you come back and say they're not available here, but they might be available next year, or they might have this in mind. And so you have a very long list. And then really our goal with concerts is to have something for everybody. This year doing something a little bit different. We have Mini Pop Kids. Mini Pop Kids is really all about kids. It's about that youth age range, I'd say 6 to 16, of just fun entertainment. I think if grandparents, daycares, schools, anybody, churches are looking for places to bring a group of kids to introduce them to what a concert looks like, we are going to do that on Saturday, July 30th at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And I think that's going to be really a fun time for kids. Actually, kids kind of get to go be kids.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't have to worry about some adult looking at them.
Yeah.
They don't
just
have
go
to worry
fun.
about, they just get to be kids in this group
And
of kids.
enjoy the music.
Yeah. And it's kid-friendly music. And that's part of FAIR, is that we want to provide family-friendly, fun experiences for the family. I mean,
Right.
it really is supposed to be a family-driven event. And then, we later follow up on Sunday. We have the Beach Boys.
I'm excited about that one. I
Folks,
love the Beach Boys.
We have 2 Hall of Fame bands coming.
Oh.
Right.
Who else had 2 Hall of Fame bands coming? This is iconic.
2 in the course of what? 5 days?
5 days, yeah.
Well, we actually have 6 nights of entertainment. So we have the Mini Bop Kids, then we have the Beach Boys at 7:30 on Sunday. We have Skillet on Monday night at 7:30. On Tuesday, we're doing something different. It has not yet been announced, but it's going to be kind of clever, and it's going to be limited tickets, and it's going to be something that hopefully will grow over time. Might have to invite me back.
Yeah.
I might have to come for another one.
This is quite the little teaser
Yeah,
you're
I might
putting
have to
out
come
here.
back. Yeah.
When will
Okay.
you know what this Tuesday thing is?
I do know what this is.
I
Come
think the
on,
question is,
Susan.
when
You
will
don't
you
know what
announce
is.
what the Tuesday thing is? Yeah.
This isn't going to
soon.
be aired until Friday, so you could tell
I
us
can't
now.
help that. I'm not ready on Friday.
Ooh.
Wednesday night is Cheap Trick. That's, you
Yeah.
guys, this community and area loves classic rock. It doesn't get any more classic rock than Cheap Trick. And they're Hall of Fame too. And I hope people turn out on that Wednesday night to support the classic rock music. But oh my God,
Cheap Trick.
I want you. I
want
can't
me.
sing. I can't sing.
like,
It was-
get
you
I
were doing
need
that.
Yeah.
you to need me. I want you
wrong
to
line.
want me.
Yeah.
I
That's
know
about
that
all I
song
know.
from 10 Things I Hate About You, one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was Cheap Trick.
And when you listen and you watch movies, there's so many times you'll come across that. Okay, so then Friday night is Chris. Oh my goodness, where am I at? Chase Rice.
There we go.
Hello. And then Saturday night is Dwight Yoakam.
Which is my
And
birthday, by the way.
it's
Just
your
throwing
birthday.
that out there.
Maybe
Hey.
he'll sing to you.
On Dwight.
Jason, join me over here on mic 2. Maybe you get tickets for your wife for her birthday to Dwight Yoakam.
No. He's the one who really wants to go to Dwight. Not that I don't like Dwight Yoakam, but yeah, no, he's
There you go.
You
he's big
love
country.
Dwight Yoakam.
Yes.
Dwight Yoakam's going to close out the 2022
Yeah.
Montana State Fair in style. A very popular individual, very meaningful songs. People absolutely love him. So I hate to do this, but we're going to switch over to a little bit about rodeo because we host PRCA Big Sky Pro Rodeo.
That's a huge thing for our area,
It
too.
is a huge
Yeah.
thing. We have a fantastic 4-day rodeo. Most rodeos don't go 4 days. Ours
Yeah.
does. We start on Wednesday night.
and these are big names that come to our rodeo.
They are big names, and it is a big rodeo, and it's a great run. Now, when you asked about partnerships, so I partner with Sankey Pro Rodeo and Phenom Genetics as the producer.
Okay.
They produce the rodeo for us.
Okay.
They are the dam experts
yeah.
Ooh, look at
in
that.
Look
the
at
rodeo
that
area.
title.
That's
Yeah.
right. So they know all the rights, wrongs, do's, don'ts, and it's great. So when you talk about me, and you talk about, and I would agree, it's more the maestro and less of the chaos. It's more because when you have very talented, dedicated, qualified experts in all their damn areas, it really makes my job a lot easier.
Yeah.
It's making sure I have everything that they need in place, lined up, taken care of, and all their resources. And then I stay out of their way because they are the expert. They don't need me meddling in the middle of something.
So does Sankey then pick who the announcer is going to be and who the rodeo talent is, or is that you?
That's part of his contract. In his full contract, when you produce that rodeo, that's up to him.
Perfect.
And that's what they do. I mean, we have Will Rasmussen. It doesn't get any better than that.
World-class talent
It
right
doesn't
here.
get any better than Will.
No.
So, you
and
know.
just throw Flint in the ring then, too. And
Flint was here for Dusty Glico, but Will Rasmussen, I mean, he is so amazing when it comes to rodeo, and you hear his voice and the vibe changes and you feel a certain way and you know it's rodeo time. And if you can't smell it, see it, taste it, or feel it, you need to come to Big Sky Pro Rodeo.
Yes. And there's different nights throughout the rodeo too. So there's Tough Enough to Wear Pink night,
which is on Friday. Wednesday is Patriot night, or no, I'm gonna goof them up. I'm going to goof them up. Wednesday
use your reference sheet.
is Patriot night. Yeah. Thursday is family night. Friday's Tough Enough to Wear Pink night. And Saturday is Pepsi night.
Okay.
And all of those, actually, we don't have a night that's better than another night.
No. Go to them all every night.
Yes.
I would say the same thing. Go to them all. Patriot night's pretty touching. But we honor every day. Every day we honor our military partners. We honor our veterans. We honor those who've gone before us. It's important to us every day. I don't know if there's a sport that embodies that more than rodeo, though.
No, I don't think so.
I would
at
agree.
all.
Yeah, of all of them out there, I think
especially
rodeo,
when you have Will announcing, it's just touching. It's powerful.
Well, and you know, we have the privilege and luxury of having Malmstrom Air Force Base right here in Great Falls, Montana. I think it's a time that people truly understand how grateful we are. We're safe because of all the things the military does for us. So, you know, to thank them, that's a very small token of appreciation.
Yeah.
For our safety and well-being and welfare. So, so you have Big Sky Pro Rodeo, and they cap off on that Saturday night. But then people will transition over to Dwight Yoakam, and then there are lots of rides. There's lots of things to go and buy. The internet's kind of put a damper on some of that. So your commercial exhibitors have to get creative a little bit. Yeah. And so when you come, they have to probably be able to provide a little bit of somewhat of an experience for you, one-on-one, whether it's Western clothes you're looking for. Actually, there's places to try them on. There's, you know, and there are people that will tell you, not in the middle, not with your powdered sugar.
Well, and last year we went to the fair and almost bought a bed. They had a great
almost bought a bed?
Yeah. I didn't even know we were in the market for a bed, and all of a sudden we're at
You didn't buy it?
No.
They sell a lot of those beds there. Beds
with good reason.
Yeah.
So in the commercial exhibit, we're testing out this bed, and it's a nice bed, but the problem is, like, you're on it for what, 10, 20 minutes?
Right.
You don't want to be the weird person and lay there for an hour, even though that's really what I want to do. But
is it air conditioned in that spot?
It was
that would be
beautiful.
Dangerous.
It was wonderful. And I just had a great time. And my spouse is like, well, do you want this bed? I'm like, I didn't know we were in the market for a bed. So
but there you are.
I was just getting information. But our next
That's
bed,
how you hook them.
Our next bed will be one of those beds.
Are you gonna go back and purchase it?
I don't know if we're ready this year.
They the massage chairs do well.
Ooh, I bet they do.
Of course, people come out with some different artwork frequently at the fair time. There's henna, and then there are incredible tattoo artists.
That is always
there.
Fun to get like a little henna tattoo or something when you go to the fair.
Face paint.
Face paint.
A portrait. Like those
the cartoon kind of characters.
Yeah.
Candy. Candy, purses, bags.
Cowboy hat.
Usually there's something that you need that you didn't know you needed, but
like
the pitch is so good that you're going to end up with it because
those are the things where you're like, what?
Was not expecting that. Yeah. Okay, I have this maybe more of a logistical question, but there are things that you can and cannot bring with you onto the fairgrounds. Yes, like when you come to the fair, what should people bring with them, and what should they
Leave at home.
leave in the vehicle or leave at home?
They should bring sunscreen.
Okay.
They should bring tennis shoes. They should bring head cover, meaning a hat, so that you are taken care of with the sun. You should leave your pets at home.
Okay.
All pets should stay at home. You should leave your pets at home. Please leave your pets at home, because we don't want pets left in cars.
No.
Pets, the fair is not a place for pets. There's a lot of moving parts. That's just not good for them either.
Yeah.
Water, sunscreen. Well, bring your supplies to make sure that you stay healthy yourself. If you have small children, I would really highly recommend that you stop and take a photo of your kids as you go into fair, in case somehow you get separated and your child is looking for the parent. I think those are important things. We have security on the grounds, because
Yeah,
just kind of talking
say.
about, and that was funny because I was transitioning to, okay, all this happens, but how does this happen behind the scenes?
Yeah.
We have security on the grounds. There is a place, if there is a lost child, they'll go to security. We'll find their parents, or vice versa. We also have law enforcement on the grounds.
Medical.
There is medical. Actually, there's a first aid booth. You need a Band-Aid. You need an ice pack. We have the quick response team. They actually go out if there is an injury somewhere. Plus
Heat exhaustion.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because
That's
inevitable, that stuff happens.
Yeah.
it does. It
And
does.
Even though people aren't planning to have that happen.
Overheat, fall and scrape themselves.
Yeah, if you
lose their
fall.
child.
We also have an information booth that does rent some wagons, and it rents some.
So you can pull me around the fair.
That's
You're
right.
the perfect size for
Yes.
that.
And it has some wheelchairs. So because sometimes there are mobility challenges, they're limited, and they do rent, and I don't know what that price is off the top of my head. I didn't bring any of those notes.
Oh
Rebecca.
no, you don't.
Um,
You don't need to be an expert in that area.
Yeah.
Then-
Just that's available.
then I think what people don't realize, there's always somebody out policing, not policing like as in law enforcement, but doing garbage pickup, doing cleanup, removing things, cleaning restrooms, cleaning bathrooms. By all means, if you're ever there and there's a problem, please tell someone. Please say, this restroom could use some attention, because we can go through and clean everything, and then Rebecca can come right behind
Right.
us.
Oh,
And
make a
she
mess.
could make it
Totally
this big
destroy
giant
it.
mess, and you were just
Get our powdered
there.
sugar sweat
Right.
combo all over the place.
Done my own shower
Yep.
in the
all the
bathroom.
towels
Yep.
everywhere. Yeah.
And I maintain people come out there to have a good time. They come to spend time with their friends, their family. They want to be there for the food. They want to be there for the fun. They want to be there for the entertainment. And our goal is to provide that style of welcoming and fun for everybody. And then when you're around the grounds, usually there's some little pretty flowers. Somebody takes care of those.
Yeah.
They're watered, they're maintained. And then the trolleys will help you get from point A to point B if you don't feel like
Get a little
walking.
tired. Yeah.
And I can tell everybody this just from experience. It is not very far from our office, which is on the south end of the facility, to the Four Seasons Arena, as long as there's food vendors in the middle.
Yeah.
You take those food vendors away, it's like, are you kidding
Yeah.
me? I can't walk down there.
Navigate the maze of hungry
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
And you can always stop in our office, say hello if there's ever questions. Ideas are great. We want feedback. We want people to have a good time. This is intended for people to have a good time. What this isn't intended for is, yes, you pay admission to come to fair. Yes, you do. Because
It's an entertainment venue when you get in there.
Absolutely.
well, and all those support services, from the garbage to the trolleys
Yeah.
to
It takes
the
a
first
lot to put
aid
this
to the
on.
information booths to the security that is walking about. It just ensures that you're maintaining the type of environment that you want to have.
Yeah.
There's also additional restrooms located in multiple places. So that's kind of a little overview of fair, I think.
How long have you been working at
Yeah.
Expo Park and with the state fair?
So this will be my 14th fair and actually 13th fair because of the pandemic.
Okay.
So I started in 2009, right
Wow.
before fair.
Mm-hmm.
And
You started right before the fair.
I started on like June 29th, 2009.
Talk about drinking from a fire hose there, huh?
You're drinking from a fire hose. And I would say, just like most jobs, it is on the job training.
Yeah.
I would say that until you experience it, you really don't know what you're experiencing it. And I think it's good to experience it through attending. You need to attend other fairs. And you need to attend other fairs from the standpoint of, okay, I walked through and, okay, how long did I wait here? Or did I wait? Or okay, I went here. How was that? Or
Just kind of the general flow of everything.
In my case, right. Is there places for people to get out of the sun? Are there convenient bathrooms? What's the signage look like? Do I know where I'm going? Do I know how to get to where I want to go? Do I feel like people were friendly? Did they smile at me? Did they say thank you? Did they say please? Is this a place I want to be? Because that's what we want to try to create for everybody. So I think you have to go and look through that visitor lens. And then you, as the person trying to replicate that, what does that look like? So,
What do we need? So this year it is July 29th through August 6th. All the fun's going to be had right here in Great Falls. Rodeos, concerts, horse racing, commercial exhibits,
Livestock, artwork,
all the fun stuff.
Dippin' Dots.
Dippin' Dots, adult beverages.
Adult beverages galore.
Safety people everywhere, free
Yeah.
parking. And it's not expensive. I mean, fairs, it's a vacation, if you will, and you're going to have to plan for it. But the tickets for concerts range from like 32 to 55. How good am I? How close am I?
They
Spitballing
range
there.
from 19 to 49
Oh.
Pretty close, yeah.
or
look at you.
19 to 54.
Okay.
And actually, if you're interested, what I would encourage people to buy is the pay one price package or POP. Pay one price. The pay one price covers your gate admission ticket, so you don't have to stop and pay gate to get into the fair.
Makes
And there's
it
a $5
more
food
streamlined.
coupon in there.
Oh, wow.
That can be used at any of the food vendors. They cannot be used for alcohol, Rebecca. No
Ruining all
alcohol.
of that.
That's all right, because I
Rebecca.
also get the lemonade.
That's right.
You have to.
Those ticket prices include your gate admission and your $5 food coupon and the show. Gate admission by itself, if Rebecca or Shannon were to walk up there, it would be $8 for them to come in and spend 12 hours at the fair and get like hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of people watching type of
Priceless.
It is priceless. Absolutely. If you're 60 and older, that is $5. And if you are less than 5, it's free. And 6 to 18 is $5.
That's really
And then
cheap.
So
the horse racing during the fair, there's no additional entrance fee for that, correct?
correct. They pay their gate admission, and then their entry into horse racing is complimentary.
Included.
Wow.
But for rodeo, you need a ticket
That's
to
an
get to the
additional
rodeo.
ticket.
Yep, for
Yep.
rodeo you need a ticket, and that ticket is either $16 or $24. All of these items can be purchased online and in advance.
Look at that.
That's really, really reasonable when you think about it, especially
Right.
the cost of just
So
anything today is.
let's just say
Mm-hmm.
other people may do this. You want to see you want to go see Dwight Yoakam
Mm-hmm.
in Vegas.
Okay. Yeah, that's.
You're jumping on a plane
Yep.
for let's just do round numbers, $120 to go to Vegas. Then you've got
When?
your lodging,
last month?
$250,
Nowadays, yeah.
and then you are paying anywhere from $80 to
my goodness.
$180
Yep.
for a ticket there, or you can see them
You can
at the
come here.
Montana State Fair.
Mhm.
Show up for the $8 admission, the $58.
Under
Yeah.
that price. Mm-hmm.
Those prices are ridiculous, and
They really
you get
are.
the outdoor experience, the less crowded, less hassle
Yeah.
right here in in God's country, the base
So
camp
true. So
for art
true.
and
Well,
adventure.
it's Big Sky Country, and it's Big Sky Country for a reason. The skies are blue and the people are friendly. And very frankly, there's not a bad seat at any of our venues, from the rodeo to the night shows. Our venue seats, 6,600 max capacity. It is called an intimate experience at the Montana State Fair with incredibly talented artists, Hall of Fame artists. You are one of a small portion. A lot of these guys play places that, seat 10, 12, $20,000
Oh my
stadium
gosh, yeah.
tours. Think
This
about
is
it.
a more intimate
You
experience.
are having an intimate experience with an artist up close. Many of
They
the
could
venues,
probably wink at you and you'd see it.
you could. A lot of venues you go to, they don't know you're there. You're so far
No,
out.
you're
And
way nosebleed, if you will, right?
who's the ant on the stage?
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's the artist.
Yeah, you got to see the screen in order to see anything
To
that's
see them,
happening.
right? And
Not
you're
here.
and you're paying
Not
quadruple
here.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, not here. And you will have that experience. They are right there. And I have not seen an artist not engage with our audience. And it is. I mean, the furthest seat is not a bad seat. There's not a bad seat in the house.
So this is the perfect time. Well, every time is perfect in Great Falls, but this is a great time to be planning a trip into our community, especially with the quality of entertainment that the Montana State Fair has, the entire experience that goes around that. Come for the fun and stay for the friends.
Yep. Stay for everything else that Great Falls has going on when you're not at the fair before noon.
Before noon, that's
noon.
right. Noon to midnight. That's how.
That's when you're going to be at the
hours.
fair.
Yeah.
But you
Noon
can
to
get on the
midnight.
River's Edge Trail before that.
There you go. Perfect.
Great Falls has so much to offer, and it has so much to offer right in its immediate surrounding that if you want an experience that is family friendly, provides incredible food wherever you go, on or off the fairgrounds, has features that you can go and see and do, you need to come to Montana State Fair and enjoy Great Falls, Montana.
Yeah.
So if you need help planning this, you can always go to our website, which is visitgreatfallsmontana.org. Susan has listed out hers, which we will include probably in the show notes. I don't know what Shannon does yet.
I'll include that. Yes.
And then if you need recommendations on places to stay, things to do before the fair opens, give us a call, 406-761-4436. We're hanging out here to help you all the time.
We usually have answers for you too, which
Most of the
surprises
time.
some people.
People get shocked. They're like, man, you know stuff. Yeah.
Well, and I just want to say I want to thank you for the best damn time I had on a
Ooh.
Wednesday morning in a
Hey.
long time.
I like
So,
it.
yeah.
That's even without any adult beverages yet.
Look at
you.
that.
That's right. No adult beverages, and it was.
I can
It
have
was.
fun
I
without
like
them.
it. Well, Susan, thank you for all of your work that you do. It is chaos coordinator, maestro, everything you do, because the state fair, it's a huge deal for us to have long-standing, and that doesn't go unnoticed. So thank you for all of the work that you do to make that happen.
Thank you for having me.
So until we see your bright, happy, smiling, shining face here in Great Falls, we hope you're having a wonderful time creating memories with friends and family wherever you are.
We're No Dam Experts is the recorded claims from Great Falls, Montana, covering what you need to know about this amazing damn town. Damn, that felt good.